as part of a cost-saving measure touted by the government. However, recent developments have reignited debate about whether the consolidation has hampered the ability to oversee political conduct effectively. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck has publicly expressed disappointment in the ECJ's performance, criticizing the Commission for failing to fulfill the responsibilities transferred to it.
Well, I'm a little disappointed that the ECJ has not made any pronouncement on the role that it should play for the political ombudsman, which was subsumed with it. We didn't put it there just like that. We had discussions with the ECJ, and they acknowledged and accepted the role before we passed the legislation.
Adding to the controversy, Minister Chuck revealed that the ECJ is receiving up to $60 million to carry out its expanded functions, more than double what the former Office of the Political Ombudsman operated on.
$46 million was provided in 23-24 to the Office of the then Political Ombudsman. Whether all was used, I don't know. Last year, that is 24-25, $60 million was provided. Now, when I examined the figures for last year, $60 million, most of it was to set up the office and probably to pay staff. The original $46 million included rental, but in the provision for last year's 24-25, there was no provision for rental because you wouldn't need a rental. The ECJ would have offices, hopefully that they could provide space for the office of a political ombudsman or director of political conduct.
Speaking on CVM's lead story, former political ombudsman Donna Parchment Brown reacted with surprise to the figure, noting that during her tenure, the office was never given that much.
He mentioned that in 23-24, $46 million was allocated, which included rent. Let me make it clear, I left the office in 2022. And up to that time, there had never been an allocation above $25 million. So that $46 million in the year when the office was vacant, it's hard for me to understand what that could be for.
Yes.
And as for the $60 million to the ECJ, where one of the points about it is that we needed to save money. All the commissioners of the ECJ are already being paid.
She has called for the Political Ombudsman Office to revert to a standalone body.
I 100% believe that the legislation should be repealed. It should be standalone. There are areas of strengthening in relation to sanctions, but even without that, I believe the value to the Jamaican psyche and democracy is far better in a standalone institution than where it is now, subsumed to be a subcommittee of a different entity.
Despite the outcry, the government has maintained that there will be no reversal of the decision.
I mean, we would not amend the law without due consideration. And the likelihood of us, this administration, removing what was amended is zero. All we hope is that, and we have no doubt, as I've been expressing, that the ECJ, if it takes on the role, it would perform and can perform well.
So the pressure is now on the ECJ to act swiftly and restore confidence in its oversight role. There are renewed calls.
In this update now, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says there are no cost overruns in the reconstruction of the Cornwall Regional Hospital, CRH, in St. James. Adrian Williams tells us in this story how $20 billion was allocated.
That's building a new hospital. It's not a cost overrun. It is a rescoping. So read my lips. Not a cost overrun, Cornwall Regional. It is a rescoping.
Words from Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton, who spoke at the ribbon-cutting ceremony to officially open the Cornwall Regional Hospital, CRH's new General Administration block in St. James. He says naysayers were quick to create mischief about the changing costs, calling the $20 billion projected cost an overrun, as opposed to a change in the objectives due to issues compounding the original ventilation matter.
What we have projected to spend is not what we have yet spent. We have spent $1.8 billion on the services around. We have spent $3.9 billion on building out. and that building out continues.
He added that the $1.8 billion was spent to build out infrastructure to assist with operations while the general rebuilding takes place.
That was spent in a way to preserve the services, but indirectly also expanding the quality of service provision in the region. That's not a bad thing. They say out of bad can come good. And so when we go back in the main building, those infrastructure will still be there and will create greater capacity for this area.
Tufton asserts that doing it right needed to be the focus as a new hospital was required in the final analysis.
Doing it right means that as a government and a ministry responsible for the health and wellness of the population, including the people of Western Jamaica, we have taken the necessary time, allocated the required financial resources, and engaged the appropriate expertise to comprehensively and sustainably address the rehabilitation of one of the country's main hospitals.
He lauds the work being done by those who put in the work for the best outcome.
Sometimes we shouldn't beat up on ourselves too much, or indeed demotivate those who are really making an effort. We find those who are not, and we try to correct them, and we continue to work to improve. But there's enough to show that work is being done.
But why not work on the ward spaces first?
A plant requires management in the first instance, because all the moving parts have to be coordinated. And to put in ward space without having a kind of management coordination and presence or an IT system to track records and to ensure that the overarching coordination takes place would make it a bigger logistics challenge than it would be otherwise.
This move, he says, is just a part of the full-fledged plan for the entire hospital facility. Adrian Williams reporting for CVM News.
Hundreds of international students in the USA are now facing detention or have had their visas revoked by the Department of Homeland Security following a wave of executive orders. Jamaican-born attorney Suku Clark says any Jamaican traveling to the U.S. must be circumspect or face scrutiny and potential detention. He also shares the recourse for anyone embroiled in the latest visa revocation matter.
As executive orders abound, so too are the gloomy headlines across several North American states concerning international students and questions surrounding universities gaining accreditation, including the Ivy League. Among the latest incidents, a war brewing between the prestigious Harvard University and the Trump administration.
I think it goes in line with the government looking into universities on a whole as to their funding, as to their tax-exempt status. I saw recently that an executive order was filed directly affecting universities where they are now scrutinizing how universities get their accreditation. Right, so this was recently passed, and recently, I mean, within the last 48 hours. So there's and I don't know if you've seen the whole tussle with the current administration and Harvard going back and forth. You know, Harvard filed a lawsuit.
Clark, a Jamaican-born, explains that the push to remove students stemmed from a series of student protests, followed by targeted removal of students allegedly aligned with terrorist groups. But he says things ballooned since then.
But the ones that I've seen where the recourse looks dismal are the ones who have been accused of participating in these protests or rallies that advocate against U.S. interests or U.S. I would want to say I'll leave that U.S. interests.
He shares there's recourse for the students in most cases who would need to first consult with legal experts to see if they qualify for a reinstatement. Clark says some media have reported that in many instances students were allegedly never told why their visas were revoked. One media report from Texas shared as much.
And the Trump administration now faces several federal lawsuits over these visa changes. So we've been working to get answers from university leaders and federal agencies. And here's what we've learned. Leaders with the UT system told KVU as of Friday they have had 176 students affected across all of their campuses. In San Marcos, a spokesperson for Texas State tells us 2 students have been affected there. And the Texas State University system, which also covers campuses like Lamar University and Sam Houston State, has had 10 students affected. And leaders with the Texas A&M system tell our partners at the Austin American-Statesman across their campuses they have had 38 students affected. We reached out to federal agencies multiple times to find out why we're seeing more visa statuses changed. They haven't given specifics on any cases.
So what's his recommendation to anyone, student or foreigner in the U.S.?
That would be it. If you're traveling into the U.S., right, make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. Always stay calm when you're talking to the officer. Always know that they can enter your phone and look at your social media. Right? Your rights to privacy is significantly reduced upon entry of the U.S. And if you're inside of the U.S., just make sure that you follow the rules and you have all of your paperwork easily accessible.
He anticipates a roller coaster of executive orders, lawsuits, and countersuits over the Trump tenure.
CVM News at 7 will continue in a moment.
The people have me over here forgot underwater this morning.
Yeah, your girlfriend know what I do in my corner office.
In your corner office.
Yeah.
We're going to a marine biologist kind of that corner office. We'll be studying the environment this morning. In the boat.
Yeah.
In the boat. So tune in to the underwater corner office. You never know what you'll find out.
Hold on, this is what you're wearing, Carl?
Yeah, man.
You come bush out though.
Bush out for the boat. God is on board. Fret not.
In a world where innovation meets tradition, agriculture is evolving like never before. From the latest sustainable farming technologies to age-old practices passed down through generation, agriculture is
precious to me.
I love the animals. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. I love working.
Join us right here on CVM TV every Sunday during news at 7 as we explore the people, the science, and the breakthroughs that are shaping the way we grow, eat, and live. You don't want to miss it. This is Farming Forward.
You ever get bun yet? Me not talk about heartbreak. Me a talk about the bun where full of spice, raisins, and the perfect glaze.
Bun for bun.
So you do it now.
You have to get bun.
This Easter, you have to get bun from Mother's Bakery.
Welcome back. The Minister of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, emphasizes that while making technology more accessible to children, teachers will not be left behind. She's therefore urging appropriate use of available resources. More from Adrian Williams.
With more plans being put in place to advance the nation's school system technologically, Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon assures teachers they won't be left behind in the digital improvements.
Already, the Ministry of Education, we are testing AI tools in school to support teachers with marking and administrative tasks. And so we have AI technology that we're testing in schools now to have the AI mark the papers so that the teachers can spend more time doing what is really important, which is interacting with our students.
The minister urges teachers to make use of the resources and vouchers available to them.
We've already distributed about 25,000 vouchers to teachers to subsidize the purchase of their laptops. And I want to note, there are a couple thousand vouchers out there. So if you know anyone who has not used their voucher to buy their laptop, please tell them to hurry up and buy the laptop with the voucher. because many of you have bought your laptops with that voucher.
With fear from the public about technology replacing jobs, Dixon says the teacher should be at the heart of it all.
And the teacher is central to the classroom experience. Technology can't replace the teacher. So the technology can just assist, can enable the teacher in the classroom, but the centrality of it is about the teacher.
Adrian Williams reporting for CVM News.
Residents in sections of St. Mary will still have to adhere to curfew rules as the police have extended the previous curfew to another 48 hours. This comes in light of rising tensions between communities in the parish. The Jamaica Constabulary Force therefore urges residents to cooperate with the security forces. The curfew will run from Friday, April 25, that's today, at 6 p.m. until Sunday, also at 6 p.m. The following communities are affected by the curfew: Retreat, Content, Davistown, Pondside, Charlestown, Ross Common, Three Hills Industry Pen Housing Scheme, Liberty Estate Housing Scheme, Phase 1 and 2, Spring Valley, that is, Bush and the St. Mary Country Club. Also in the parish, the communities of Tank Lane, Marstontown and Crooked River. Commanding officer for the St. Mary Police Division urges the public to cooperate with any information they may know.
The St. Mary Division has reaped tremendous success in recent times due to the strategies employed to curb crime in the parish. However, due to an increase of crime in specific areas within the division and the intent of criminals to erode the gains made across the parish, curfews have been imposed in their respective areas in response to the uptick. In the interim of these curfews, the St. Mary Police will execute strategic and robust policing tactics to dismantle criminal elements and their operations. These curfews are not tailored to affect law-abiding citizens, but rather those who are hell-bent on disrupting the sanctity of the St. Mary Division. Anyone with information that can assist the police is asked to contact the Port Mara Police at 876-333-9530 or 876-994-4222. Crime Stop at 311 or the nearest police station. The St. Mary Police remain committed to ensuring the safety and security of all law-abiding citizens. We seek your full cooperation as we work together assiduously to dismantle all criminal activities in your communities and restore peace within the St. Mary Division.
Still lots more to come. Stay with us.
Pepperoni, Hawaiian, chicken chunks, vegetarian. There's no pressure to choose with Pizza Hut's amazing 4. You get 4 juicy flavors with one less choice to make. Pizza Hut, now that's delivery.
Jamaica is on a transformative path, and the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation and its agencies are leading the way. MEGJC Matrix is back for Season 2, bringing you the latest on the projects shaping our nation's future. Big changes, bold moves. This is the Season 2 of the MEGJC Matrix, driving development, transforming lives.
From politics to global events, from social issues to breaking news, Lead Story Prime dives deeper, cuts through the noise, and uncovers the stories that shape your world. Join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. for Lead Story Prime with me, George Davis, for an hour of incisive analysis, expert interviews, and unparalleled coverage of the issues you care about. Lead Story Prime, your front row seat to the most compelling discussions. Lead Story Prime, where the truth comes first. Only on CVM TV.
We welcome you back with this follow-up. A Westmoreland bartender who died after the family alleges she was shot by her boyfriend has been laid to rest. However, as loved ones said their final goodbyes, the family is still calling for justice. Shantae McNeil has that report.
On Thursday, 20-year-old Jamoy Suku was laid to rest by family members and friends in Geneva District, Westmoreland, but her loved ones remain restless. The new year should have marked a new beginning. Instead, it brought a tragic end. Jamoy, affectionately called Nay, a Westmoreland bartender, left home to visit her police boyfriend at a hotel in Mapen, Clarendon. That's where she was shot under questionable circumstances, resulting in her untimely death. Her mother, Nadine Suku, has been seeking justice ever since, desperate to understand what really happened.
It's been like 3.5 months now since she died, and the autopsy has done from the 11th of March. And until now, I think that should be the first thing that should be reached on the DPP desk the following Monday morning, because we really need to know what happened. It is so silent. We want to hear what is going on. I want closure.
The case remains under active investigation by Indicom and the JCF, but the mother says the process has been taking too long. She says she needs an update on the officer involved in the incident.
I haven't heard anything about him, so we would like the JCF to just give us an official report. Let us know what is happening, how they are dealing with it, because I want to know if he's in confinement, lockup, or what. I don't understand and I don't know anything. We're in the darkness.
What pains her most is that her daughter trusted the man they believed to have taken her life.
How somebody if you take four drive from Westmoreland to Clarendon and reach, that means that person trusted with their life. And to come back down, you send her back down in a body bag, come give me to bury her, oh God. I don't know, people say me strong, but I just in mercy of God.
The tragedy has reignited concerns about violence against women. PNP caretaker for the Cornwall Mountain Division, Abigail Malcolm, says this case is a prime example.
The more we advocate, the more the cases go up. So what are the necessary steps as a government will be taking to ensure that our women and our children are safe? When I look at where the country sits now when it comes to violence against our women, I'm not seeing anything being done. I'm not seeing enough justice being served, especially with Janae's case. We need justice. A soul gone way too soon.
Jamoy reportedly died from a gunshot wound to the chest, but the officer involved has reportedly given conflicting claims of how it happened. In one version, it's alleged he said he placed his pistol on the bed and turned away, only to hear a gunshot and find Suku with a chest wound. In another, it's alleged he claimed the gun slipped from his hand while removing it from his holster, discharging as he tried to catch it. What really happened remains unclear, and so far, no charges have been laid. But the family says until justice is served, they will cling to her memory and the hope that truth, like justice, will not be buried. Shantae McNeil, CVM News.
Billions of dollars have been pumped into irrigating over 700 acres of farmlands in Clarendon, thanks to a growing partnership between the government of Jamaica and international stakeholders. The people of Parnassus are now hopeful their farm-rich area will finally get the respect and support it deserves as Jamaica seeks to ramp up food security efforts.
Sowing seeds of innovation, resilience and prosperity was the aim of the partnership between the Government of Jamaica, the UK and the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, in Parnassus, Clarendon. On Wednesday, stakeholders commissioned the Parnassus irrigation system and launch of the Parnassus Agro Park, one of several projects to ensure food security in Jamaica and the Caribbean.
It's more than commissioning an irrigation system. Of course, it's the realization of a shared vision of a food-secure, climate-resilient Jamaica. This project emerges as a critical inflection point, you'll all agree, for Jamaica and our region, as climate change accelerates and trade dynamics shift. Our food systems face unprecedented pressures. The investment today is accordingly of high potential to help Jamaica navigate those challenges.
Through a grant of over £17 million, so that's 3.5 billion Jamaican dollars, from the UK Caribbean Infrastructure Fund, the Southern Plains Agricultural Development Project will make a real difference for farming communities in St. Catherine and Clarendon. This Parnassus Agro-Park project in Clarendon is designating nearly 400 hectares of irrigated land to farmers and will be supplying nearly 9.6 million gallons of water per day, improving facilities for farmers to handle and store their harvests, and building 12 kilometres of new roads. And roads are so important, as we all know. But it's not just about building infrastructure. It's also about ensuring that support reaches those who need it most in an inclusive and equitable way.
Agriculture Minister Floyd Green reiterates the government's efforts in paving the way for local agriculture to thrive despite many hurdles.
And we don't believe in just saying thank you as a government. We say thank you in action, not in talk. Because talk is easy. But love has to be a verb. You have to show that you love in a very tangible way. So we're saying thank you today to our farmers in Farmers Month by ensuring that they have access to over 700 acres of irrigated arable land right here in Parnassus.
It's something the mayor explains will serve as catalytic in the farming community that's been craving such an investment.
Today, vision of the Prime Minister and the government of Jamaica has once again brought to this part of Clarendon this project that will suffice the development of our food production for the country of Jamaica and for the people of Clarendon. And by extension, will be providing the kind of opportunities that the farmers in this part of Jamaica has been yearning for since the downturn of Spring Plain.
And we're just about ready to take another break, but before we do so, let's find out what's coming up in sports with Ronaldo Adams.
Hi, Caroline.
Hey.
Good evening. So, two-time world 200 meters champion Shericka Jackson, she will contest her very first 200 meters of the season tomorrow at the Wanda Diamond League meet in Xiamen, China. It's winding down to the business end of the Jamaica Premier League season, so we'll be forecasting some of the matches this Sunday. And of course, today's Friday, so what do we have?
Rohan Daly with his soup and lots more.
Of course. Stay tuned for sports.
All right, thank you. And you stay where you are. We'll continue with lots more news right after this.
New KFC saucy wings tossed in savory mango habanero or buffalo sauce. KFC, it's finger looking good. The time by KFC is 7:30.
Pepperoni, Hawaiian, chicken chunks, vegetarian. There's no pressure to choose with Pizza Hut's amazing 4. You get 4 juicy flavors with one less choice to make. Pizza Hut, now that's delivery.
The people have asked me over here forgot underwater this morning.
Yeah, your girlfriend know what I do in my corner office.
In your corner office.
Yeah.
We're going to a marine biologist kind of that corner office. We'll be studying the environment this morning. In the boat.
Yeah.
In the boat. So tune in to the underwater corner office. You never know what you'll find out.
Hold on, this is what you're wearing, Carl?
Yeah, man.
You come bush out though.
Bush out for the boat. God is on board. Fret not.
Sports should be fun. Sports should be interesting. Sports should be entertaining. Sports should be riveting. This is CVM Sports. I'm Jordan Ford.
Jamaica is on a transformative path, and the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation and its agencies are leading the way. McJC Matrix is back for Season 2, bringing you the latest on the projects shaping our nation's future. Big changes, bold moves. This is the season 2 of the MegJC Matrix, driving development, transforming lives.
We go right away to the business report with Joel Crossgill.
Lots to share with you in the business report today as Jamaica begins to find its voice in the rapidly expanding world of artificial intelligence with the launch of a technology company that is redefining how local industries use data, intelligence and automation to drive performance.
I am Ranjita Sanampudi, CEO of Vox Technologies Limited. Esteemed business leaders and other distinguished guests, family and friends, thank you all for being here today. So before I begin my speech, I asked my AI to write this speech for me, and it replied, why not? But it said, but you are the one with the emotions. So here I am with heart, with code, and a whole lot of gratitude. Today we launch Vox Technologies, a proudly women-led organization rooted in innovation and driven by purpose. Built not just on code and infrastructure, but on a voice that challenges the status quo, a voice that solves real problems, a voice that believes technology must be ethical, accessible, and empowering.
In pioneering the integration of edge AI and generative AI to deliver smart, scalable solutions across high-impact sectors such as security, insurance, logistics, tourism, transportation, healthcare and telecommunications. Ranjita Sanampudi, CEO Vox Technology Limited, wants to help Jamaican industry leaders and decision makers to hear more clearly what their data is telling them.
Vox means voice. From day one, our philosophy has been simple: to give meaningful voice to data, to systems, and the people behind them. What makes Vox unique? We are the only company in the region that blends digital AI and edge AI into one seamless platform, delivering real-time, reliable, and relevant intelligence. At Vox, we believe innovation should help people, not replace them. It should shift focus away from the routine tasks and towards what truly matters. Our journey begins with real-world impact. We lead with security and surveillance because in the world of evolving threats, intelligent protection isn't optional, it's essential. Our mission is clear: to make technology speak your language.
The role India has played in the development of AI technology, however, should not be lost in translation, as His Excellency Sri Mayank Joshi, High Commissioner of India to Jamaica, explains.
I'm sure you all are aware, 16% of the world's AI technology engineers and researchers are Indians, all across the world. They're working 16% of the whole AI setup. Designers, engineers are Indians.
Including Sridhar Subramanya, CEO Outdo Media Tech PVT Limited, out of India, a partner of Vox Technology.
I am here today to bring extraordinarily beautiful, magical, malleable technology which can help people who do the daily work, the dirty work, the dangerous work, and disturbing work. These are the things which we want to first take the pain away from the people and allow such people to do better things in life. So we bring brains where brains today don't reach, and computer has been classically doing it for data processing, but our job is to bring extraordinary brains in almost every activity that human beings want to do it.
In a way, as His Excellency the High Commissioner explains, that is founded in a new era of ethics.
We are talking about ethical AI. We are talking about an AI which is transparent. We are talking about an AI which is cost affordable. We are also talking about AI which is inclusive. All these are principles. International community, like in the United Nations and other international fora, they are discussing these ethical principles. And that is where India is also taking lead in crafting these principles and implementing it in a rule-based order, as we say. And this is what India would like to work with Jamaica, and this is what my work here is, to work with you all to take this forward.
Few are as well positioned to benefit from those considerations locally as Ministers Darrell Vaz, responsible for science, energy, telecommunication and transport, and Dr. Christopher Tufton, Minister of Health and Wellness, who recently returned from a visit to India aimed at advancing strategic partnerships in healthcare.
We're going to have to bridge the gap that exists between a doctor being present in an institution and a doctor being virtually available via a machine or any other form of equipment. And the biggest challenge you're going to face is how to shift the mindset from embracing the traditional approach to doing things to embracing a new approach to doing things, particularly if that new approach appears to take away control from those who are accustomed to having absolute and total control.
If we get this right, AI can become one of Jamaica's most valuable export sectors. We can build solutions here and deliver them to governments, businesses, and institutions around the world. That is the power of digital transformation. It knows no borders.
Possibly opening the potential for smarter cities, safer systems, and stronger economies.
To our young developers, engineers, and digital entrepreneurs, the world is watching, and Jamaica is ready. Build boldly, innovate locally, and know that the government supports you. And to the people of Jamaica, let today serve as a reminder that our future will not be determined by the size of our island, but by the scale of our ambition.
Jamaica can lead in innovation. The Caribbean can follow behind. AI doesn't have to feel foreign. It can be familiar, local, and ours. The future of technology should be intelligent with intention.
And that was your business report. I'm Joel Crosskill.
Right, so for what's been happening online, let's go to social media.
So, what's got you buzzing on social media today?